I'm Sally. I'm a lecturer in human geography. I'm really passionate about communities, and I am also the university's public engagement with community research fellow, which means that I get to help local organisations and communities do research themselves from the grassroots using participatory methods. So for me, it's all around using research to tackle inequalities, social injustices, but very much working with local people at the heart of the community. And I've been doing this for around 25 years. I've been asked to tell you a little bit about my story and who inspires me. And I would say that I have to go back to my own childhood. I was very fortunate to grow up in Mexico City during my teenage years through my dad's job. And I was given amazing opportunities to work with local communities and residents, particularly women, on tackling social justice issues, really, issues around housing and healthcare themselves and how they work together. So I've always been impressed by the powers of communities to do things for themselves, and I'm very much always wanted to try and facilitate that. I had experience of working in the Caribbean as well, where I was really fortunate to work with a gender unit at the University of the West Indies in Trinidad, who really educated me on the power of participatory methods and listening to local communities and basically putting them in the driving seat for change, particularly if we want to think about lasting social change and tackling some of the injustices that we're actually seeing in our societies globally at the moment. In 2013, I co-founded the Whitley Researchers, our amazing participatory action research collective, with my colleague John Ord and the great team at the Whitley Community Development Association. That initiative was really to train up local people and residents and young people to do research themselves and to really equip them with the skills so that they could have their voices heard in local decision making and really make changes that they want from the grassroots. So it really takes the whole sort of university research, I think, agenda to another level, because it's all about co-creation. We hear that a lot at the moment, and working collaboratively with our communities, which I think is really important for universities to do. I've been so inspired by the team that I work with, the community researchers in Whitley. They've taught me so much about strength, about resilience, about how to tackle some of the everyday challenges that we all face in our lives, particularly coming out of a pandemic. I've been fortunate to work with a great range of students, mostly female students, I have to say, over the last few years as well, who again have given me a fresh perspective on things. I'm always learning, I'm always reflecting, and that's the best part of some of the work that I do. And so our students are really core to what we do, and their partnerships with the local residents and young people in Whitley have just been fantastic, and they've led to longer term relationships as well, which is great. In terms of other kind of inspiration for me, I would have to say departmentally, I want to mention Sophie Bowlby. So Sophie Bowlby was a lecturer. She was a senior lecturer in the department when I came to Reading. She's a feminist geographer, and I've learned so much from her academically about how to work with people. On a personal level, she always gave me the confidence that actually I could do this. I could do things slightly differently. She had faith in sort of the ideas that I had about developing a grassroots community sort of collective. And so, that's really important for me. I think female solidarity is incredibly important as we move into this International Women's Day and celebrate women this week. I'm also fortunate to work with some fantastic female colleagues in human geography, both in my department and also in the wider discipline as well, particularly in the field of participatory research. And I think this is really important, and we need to build on this, and we need to kind of keep moving forward for young women and for communities everywhere. And for me, taking a grassroots, participatory, community-based approach is the way to do that. So thanks for listening.